Hello everyone, this is Sibel Edmonds. I was up last night till 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been receiving information from my sources and contacts in the Middle East, in EU, especially from Turkey, Syria, and Lebanon. Also, I have been reading, analyzing everything John Bolton. Many of the articles are referring to what is happening with Bolton as Bolton coming out with his venom. And I want to assure you that his venom is not going to kill anyone here in the United States. However, I want to talk about the importance of this new made-up revelations by Bolton for the U.S. foreign policy. The reason I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to provide you with all sorts of information that I have been receiving since yesterday from overseas, is that internally, of course, we have had the insanity with COVID-19, we have had the riots, we are going to see more riot fronts, and these are going to come from other minority communities. Well, the whole thing is they have a lot of things planned for domestic attacks, okay? And in my previous videos, I talked about many-fronted wars. Any war comes up with this strategy of attacking the target from multiple sides. Well, one of the most important sides in this particular situation, and that is the coup we have been facing here in the United States by the New World Order left, is US foreign policy. What do I mean by that? In the midst of all the chaos they are creating internally, domestically, they are also on the side, behind the scenes, stirring the foreign policy pot, okay? US foreign policy. One of the things they want is dragging the United States into a mess, okay? Into a mess, and blaming the United States for furthering the mess or for escalation in a really messy situation they are actually in the midst of causing right now in that part of the world. What part of the world we are talking about here? We are talking about Turkey. And those of you who have been following me on Twitter, you can go and check my tweets from May. And you will see that I went on record saying that in Turkey there will be blood. It's not going to be anything like the riots we are seeing here. It's going to be much worse. And they have been setting up the whole environment, the pretext where they're going to start there. It's going to come out of nowhere, or it's going to look like it's coming out of nowhere. And I'm going to talk about Turkey. Right now, if you go and look at Libya, you will see the escalation and how Libya is heating up, and we have France there as an actor, we have Turkey there. Turkey is getting ready to cause a lot of chaos problems there, and also we are seeing some elements, okay, coming back to the surface again with Syria. Now, these are the points in terms of the foreign policy front the coup-makers are putting in place, they are trying to put in place, and it's almost there. And it's going to drag, or it is geared to, it is meant to drag us into that mess and making President Trump the culprit in the center of it all. And with that, John Bolton's latest made-up revelations become actually telling. It actually tells us what it is they are planning, in what part of the world. They are already preparing Turkeygate, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the elements they have in their strategy and plans on Turkey front. They're going to be playing Libya card, okay? And you know that Libya, this whole mess was created during the Obama-Clinton duo administration. I'm going to be addressing all those and preparing us for what is about to happen that is going to have direct impact on our foreign policy, okay? And how that is going to target President Trump. Hopefully, by having this information out and more people aware, we will preempt it somehow. I'm not very hopeful, but my audience here, my viewers at Newsbud, at Patreon, they are not limited to only people from the United States. We have about 15–20% subscribers in both communities who are from various countries in Europe. They are from the Middle East. We even have people from Southeast Asia. So it is good for them to understand how they are being utilized. They have been watching the minority communities here. Now, up to this point, with the African American blacks being exploited and used for this coup, okay? Well, they have plans. Their plans geared to use them, and that is number 1, Turkey, number 2, Libya, number 3, Syria, okay? There are certain EU countries that are helping the coup makers, okay? One, first and foremost, is Germany. And I'm going to talk about France and the role so far given to France in this preparation of the Middle Eastern fire situation, and all of that tying with John Bolton's revelations. Now, I know there will be some viewers saying here, oh, why this in-depth analysis is not available on YouTube? Well, number one, you people, many of you who are not members of my communities at Newsbud or Patreon, you have been coming and posting, some of them polite, some of them nasty comments saying, why don't you make it short? Here it is, a short preview of what I'm going to be talking about, and actually I am referring to the elements that I'm going to talk about. Because look, our nation has been suffering from this attention deficit disorder for a long time. Those people, those of you who want to have bullet point 1, 2, 3, juicy headline, sexy title, maybe sexier subtitle, 5 minutes of BS, really macro, you should be going somewhere else. This is not a channel geared to satisfy those types of viewers. If you're into in-depth analysis, okay, someone who's going to give you the context, history, pretext, examples, and walk you through in-depth understanding of how it works with whether it is the coup makers, okay, whether it is our intelligence agencies here and abroad, whether it is foreign policy geopolitical situations, then you're in the right place, okay? But if you want that staccato, I suggest, I invite you to go somewhere else. Number two, these programs, these productions, all this research, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. They are all made possible because of the support I'm receiving from my Newsbud community members, and I'm very thankful to them, and my new community at Patreon. The reason I created Patreon, it's less than 2 months old. It hasn't been even a month and a half, is due to the economic situation. I wanted to make it easy for those people who want to plug in, who want to know about this stuff, who want to take actions, who want to create this common sense community, get together with whatever they can. And what does it mean when I say whatever they can? If you can throw 50 cents, you throw 50 cents. If you want to throw $1, You can throw $1, $5, $50, $100, $10. It doesn't make any difference. You're going to be getting the same program. And you're going to allow me to produce these. In order to do this research, contact my sources, put this information together, put this production together, edit it, upload it into various channels through podcasts, through servers for the YouTube or my Newsbud community. Well, these things are really, really, really time consuming. I am not a billionaire or someone who has just won the lottery tickets. The thing is, I don't even buy lottery tickets, so I don't have a chance to win a lottery. But this is my way also to thank my members at Patreon. And I have to say, I'm amazed. I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to have you in this community. I have gained actually new friends through Patreon community. So those of you who want to plug in and watch the rest of this in-depth analysis that's going to go at least for 15-20 minutes, talking about Turkey, what is happening in Turkey, Libya, what is happening in Libya, what is John Bolton referring to, why now, and the indications of what is to come, especially in that part of the world, as a setup against President Trump. Tune in at Patreon or Newsbud. I'm going to have this analysis, this long analysis, available to all my community members, no matter what you're giving to support, whether it's $1 or $100. So, because I know that you want to understand, I know that you want to know, I know that you care, and I'm thankful to you. This is Sibel Edmonds. Those of you with my two communities, please stay. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. And those of you who are interested, who are not members yet, it takes only 10-15 seconds. Go to my Patreon site. The link is provided in the description section, and join with whatever you can to support this production, to be in this network, not as someone who is entitled, but someone who is community-minded and who believes that together, we can. This is Sibel Edmonds reporting from Naples, Florida.